Hello guys, welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies. So, just as a precaution, because it actually does contain offensive material, I am going to be skipping the Halloween segment of the story. But we still got a lot more game to go through. That's going to be just as fun. Now, guys, I've hit 100 subscribers tonight, and I'm just blown away. You know, it's awesome to have such great support. You know, great fans, great followers. You guys have made this very enjoyable for me. So thank you so much. Our next milestone is to hit 1,000 subscribers. So let's get started. We don't got any time to waste.
Brr! It's gotten so cold. October was so warm. Why couldn't it stay that way?
We are in November now, you know.
But last year's November was so mild. It's so unfair. Other places get really cool winter things like penguins, reindeers, even Frosty the Snowman.
Sayori, you know that Frosty the Snowman wasn't real, right?
Of course, silly. But what if you make an actual snowman and name him Frosty?
Pretty sure that doesn't count. She wipes my comment away, an indignant huff of air visible from her mouth.
I just want it to snow. Seeing that gentle snowfall at night when you're tucked up and cozy inside with some hot chocolate, it's so peaceful. All the untouched snow, and when it's quiet.
You should probably spend Christmas with Yuri this year, you know? So that you two share the same thoughts.
Oh, well, it's obviously really fun to have snowball fights, build snowman, make star angels, and missing a day or two off school. I guess since joining the literature club, I started to appreciate nature a bit more. Although I still love summer.
That much hasn't changed then.
Oh no!
What? She's fiddling around in her pockets, desperately looking for something.
I left my gloves at home!
And my hands get
cold so easily. Having cold fingers is the worst. Well, or having wet socks on.
Blow on them, Sayori.
Huh? Blow on my hands?
Yes, it'll warm them up. Trust me. She takes my advice, but judging by the look on her face, it's a futile effort.
Yeah, it's a little bit, but they're still so cold. I just wish I had something proper to warm them up for me.
You know, you can always stick your hands in my pockets. That'll warm you up. Bad flam, bad flam, bad flam. As she stands there pounding, an idea forms in my mind, one that'll benefit both of us. Give me your hands. Yeah, she's already flustered. Doing my best to ignore my beating heart, I take her hands in my own and start rubbing on them.
Huh? What are you doing?
I roll my eyes, hoping she attributes my sudden shuddering to the cold and not the sudden nervousness this new situation brings. What does it look like I'm doing? It's a slow process, but slowly I can feel her hands warming up. Given how hot my whole body feels, it's no surprise. I'm half expecting there to be steam radiating off my fingers by this point. The silence in the air feels heavy, almost as if it were laced with some kind of tension. I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy it, but unfamiliarity of the sudden intimacy makes me feel a little uncomfortable. There, that should be much more. Huh? Oh, my game's locked up. Really? This of all things, this game is locking up on me? Jeez. There should be much warmer now. I move to pull my hands away, but Sayori's grip doesn't loosen like I expect it to.
Would you mind holding on for just a little bit longer? It's really sweet what you've done for me. I get cold super quickly, though.
Sure. Although we'd have to get a move on, otherwise we'd be late.
That's okay.
And so we make our way to school, just like any other day where we've walked together. Except for one major difference. We're holding hands. I mean, friends can hold hands, right? Yeah, friends with benefits. It's not necessarily romantic or anything. The way you're making excuses sure makes it sound like it. But it feels so good. Just like it belongs. Sayori's fingers are absent-mindedly stroking the back of my hand, and I have to fight the urge to return the favor. To hell with it. Her hands feel so warm and soft against mine, so there's no way I'm letting this opportunity pass up. She laughs softly as my fingers trace the gentle circle around the back of her hand. She breaks the silence, but only slightly, as her voice is barely audible over the howling wind and my own hammering chest.
You're pretty quiet, Flam.
Sorry. I just,
It's okay. You don't have to say sorry. This has been really nice, hasn't it?
It has. My mind is screaming at me to say more, to say something romantic and cheesy. I feel so content and warm, and most importantly, safe. With the girl I grew up with, the girl I've shared so many happy memories with, the girl who provides a bundle of sunshine in my life.
Your hands feel really nice.
Yours feel really... Don't mess this up, Flam. Ditto. Oh, that's bad. Oh, the cringe is real. The cringe. Oh. Who the... Alright, guys. It's time again. It's time again. It's time again. You know, just... where there's one cringy moment, another must follow suit. 1 second while I get this ready. Because this... this is just... So... going back to that whole cringe moment, I present to you this.
My mind is aglow with whirling, transient nodes of thought, careening through a cosmic vapor of invention.
Ditto.
Ditto?
And that was that. Like I said, from one cringe to another. Ditto. I wouldn't mind warming your hands up again. You know, if they ever get, cold. That was the lamest response I could have given her. Just say that her hands felt soft and tender. Sayori thinks otherwise, though, as she bursts into laughter. I feel my cheeks flare up again, this time out of embarrassment. Hey.
Sorry, Flam. Sorry. You're just too You're just so adorable.
She was gonna say dense. Yeah, well, so are you. The line is out of my mouth before my brain has a chance to even process it. This time it's Sayori's turn to glow flustered. An endearing crimson flush appears on her cheeks as she looks away, embarrassed.
You can be really cute sometimes.
Oh, you can be really cute sometimes. You know that? This is deep into uncharted territory. I've really passed some kind of line. The line that you adhere to when you're just friends with someone. Although, do I really care? She flails, further demonstrating my point. Wait, are those Sayori? What's that in your pocket? Are those gloves? She freezes. Shoot! Oh, you devious little munchkin, you! She planned that. Ooh, okay. Now, I'm vengeful. She freezes, looking like a deer caught in the headlights.
Huh? No, of course not. Oh, look at the time. We're going to be late. See you at lunchtime.
She zooms off with the velocity of a bullet. I'm left standing in there in awe. That girl is so damn sneaky. Then again, it's not like I didn't benefit from her little plan, is it? She'll be the death of me. With high spirits, I follow after Sayori's rapidly disappearing profile. And that was the state of the war by the summer of 1917. As he outlines the activity we'll be doing next, my ears prick up as he mentions we'll be doing it in Paris. By the way, turn to page 394. That chapter should be the most relevant for this task. Now, if you don't mind me, I'll be marking all the homework I should have gotten back to you last week. As per usual, his light, self-deprecating style earns a smattering of laughter from the class. Amy and I have been working diligently, making steady progress. It's about break time, I reckon, and I've been meaning to ask, how's that track stuff coming along?
This season has been great. Oh, there aren't as many sessions going on this month. I mean, there's still some, but people always chicken out when it gets cold. No dedication. I hate seeing people give up on stuff.
You and your running, eh? Gotta give you credit for that, though. I wish I had the drive for exercise. Same here, buddy. Same here.
Oh, I don't think it's a lack of drive that stops you from exercising, Flam.
There's a mischievous look in her eye. You're gonna call me lazy, aren't you? Good save.
You're distracted.
I catch Sakurai looking at us. Hastily, I turn back to my textbook and scribble something in a lazy effort to look like I'm doing some work. Once his back is turned, my full attention goes back to Emmy. Distracted? By what?
By who is what you should be asking.
That very knowing smile is making me feel a little uncomfortable. Come on, Emmy, enough with the riddles.
Sayori, Flam. I see you two having lunch together all the time. Don't you walk her home as well?
I don't know they teach you how to stalk people at the track club, Emmy.
So you do walk her home then?
So you do stalk me, huh?
So, do you like her? Hey, I promise I won't tell anyone. And come on, the amount of times I let you copy my homework.
I grumble under my breath. I had a feeling you'd use that to get a favor out of me.
Use it against you? Flam? Of course not. It's just my way of reminding you that you can trust me.
Well...
Huh? Actually, no. I guess I am being a little pushy, aren't I? Sorry, I shouldn't have.
It's all good. It's not that I don't want to tell you, it's just... I don't know. It's really confusing. I guess to put it simply, yeah, I do like her.
I knew it. That's so cute, though. How long have you liked her?
I nervously scratched the back of my head, back of my neck. Well, we've always been childhood friends, but over the past few years, we started drifting apart. I joined her literature club last month, and well, since then, I just really enjoyed being around her. I guess I never really realized what my feelings were. We've been spending more time together recently, and I sighed dreamily.
You're noticing all the little quirks about her, aren't you? Aww.
Yeah, things like how blue her eyes are, how warm and soft her hands feel, and how cute she looks when she's concentrating. She's always been really good at making me feel at ease. Whenever she's around, I just feel really, I don't know, just happy. Oh god, all that mushy stuff, that must sound super embarrassing. Sorry, I know this must sound really cringy. Not as cringy as Ditto.
It doesn't. It's fine. I know the feeling myself.
Oh, that guy you started dating a couple of months ago? The new guy, right?
That's the one.
So what was it like for you? What little things did you start to notice about him?
I guess I realized how much he really thinks with his heart. He's a little dense, but I really came to appreciate how patient he can be. But that's enough about me. Sounds like exactly the same thing is going on here. When are you gonna tell Sayori?
Well, that's the thing. Ah, Flam, Emmy, everything going well? Oops, looks like I was getting so into the conversation with Emmy that I totally forgot we were in a classroom. Thankfully, we made enough progress for Sakurai not to chide us. He studies our notes. Doing well so far. Although I'd add a little more detail about how the United States entered and how they clashed against their policy of isolationism. After all, it was a turning point in the war from both a military and foreign policy perspective.
Noted, sir.
As he meanders off, Emmy wastes no time jumping back to the conversation.
You are gonna tell her, right?
I don't know. Part of me wants to, but I'm super nervous. Well, she doesn't feel the same way. She dismisses my concerns with a frown and shake of the head.
Look, I can tell that she likes you.
How can you possibly...
Female intuition.
First motherly intuition, now female intuition. Not fair. Women get all the psychic powers. They do. That's so true.
Trust me, she spends so much time with you, and my gut feeling has never been wrong before.
She winks at me. Strangely enough, it fills me with a little bit of confidence. Oh, okay then. I swallow. I guess I'll tell her. I just don't know how to do it.
Look, it's easy. All you have to do is be honest with her. Tell her what you told me. That you really like spending time with her and that you want her to be your girlfriend. Easy.
She leans back triumphantly. Easy for you to say.
Oh? And never confess over text or online. Has to be done in person.
Well, it's Thursday today, so...
You gotta tell her tomorrow. Trust me, you don't want the anticipation hanging over you during the weekend.
But that's so... soon.
Think of it this way. The sooner you tell her, the sooner you can start dating.
I won't lie, that's a pretty appealing prospect. Tomorrow it is.
And let me know how it goes.
I managed to find your gloves this time, eh? She flails around nervously.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know they were in my pocket the whole time before.
As she pulls them on, I'm hit by a pang of disappointment. I was hoping I'd get to keep her warm and hold her hands again. Hang on, Sayori. My scarf has come loose.
You're so silly, Flam. Didn't your mom teach you how to properly tie a scarf?
Yeah, I just never got around to actually putting it into practice.
Let me help you.
She stands in front of me, completely undoing the scarf and placing it around my neck. At this distance, not only can I see her breath forming a misty cloud in front of me, but I can even feel it on my face. As she works, she brushes against my neck and collar. I have to force myself not to burrow into her touch.
There!
With a final loop, the scarf now sits snugly, providing a warmth it should. Even after she's finished, her hands linger on my neck. Despite the fabric of her gloves, I can feel they're still cold. Thank you, Sayori. Much better.
You're welcome.
Sakura told us that during the war, a bunch of miners and bombs set off an explosion so loud it was heard in London all the way from France. Over 140 miles away.
That must have been one big explosion.
Do you think the miners did the whole cool guys don't look at explosions thing?
Maybe that's where the movie directors got the idea from.
I'll ask Sakura tomorrow. Knowing him, I'll probably just get a sarcastic answer, though.
I tell you an interesting math fact.
But
math isn't interesting.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely with you there.
Seriously, you can't write a poem with numbers or a story. I don't think I've ever seen my parents using a quadratic formula or worked out the area of a triangle in real life. And my teacher tells me that math is a lifelong skill.
Really? I find it pretty useful. You know, I'm counting up the amount of times you complain about something.
Hey! You said you agreed with me.
Kidding. Anyway, I'll catch you tomorrow, Sayori. Have a good one.
Bye.
Man, what a long day today has been. I feel like I learned more from Emmy than I did Sakurai. I guess tomorrow's the day I finally ask Sayori, huh? Being totally honest, I'm kind of terrified. But then again, how much longer do I want this anticipation to loom over me? Besides, Emmy has confidence Sayori likes me, so it should go smoothly, right? Emphasis on the should. After all, she does spend a lot of time with me. And the trick with her gloves this morning. I just hope I've not misread all the signs, or else tomorrow is going to be super awkward. Oh, more childhood memories.
What's up, Flam? You're looking really glum. It's nothing, Sayori. Hey, I know something's bothering you. You can talk to me. It'll be okay. I didn't do well in the end of the year's exams. People found out and they kept laughing at me. Plus my parents are going to be so mad. I'm an idiot. Hey, you aren't an idiot, Flam. You're not stupid at all.
But I messed up so badly.
You're still really smart to me, though. You helped me with homework so many times. And look, you tried your best, right?
Yeah?
That's fine, then. That's all that counts. Teachers can't expect more, can they?
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
And those meanies, they're just jealous.
Jealous? Huh? Of what?
Well, you really got the floor is lava game. And I was gonna say we play that now. That'll cheer you up, I know it.
I don't know.
Come on! You can be Spider-Man again!
Gosh.
Okay then, let's start here. Yay!
The next hour passes by in a blur. Within moments, we were already hopping around in the room. Zipping from chair to chair, room to room.
Ah! Watch out! The lava monster is there!
I'm never gonna see Mom's house plant the same way again.
Come on, Sayori, you've got this.
There's a fairly big gap between the two couches, and Sayori peers over the edge, trying to see if she can make it.
Even if you fall, I've got you. Okay.
She jumps, soaring through the air, and lands right next to me, a triumphant grin on her face.
Ah! Way to go!
She grins and offers her hand for a high five.
Having fun? Oh, hi, Mom. You two look like you're having the time of your lives. Good to see you again, Sayori. And you? We were just playing the floor is lava game. Quite an active imagination the pair of you have, huh?
Mom smiles endearingly.
Joys of childhood, eh? Would either of you like some snacks? I think we have some tempura.
Sayori's face brightens immediately.
Ooh! Ooh, that'd be really nice, thank you. If that's okay. Of course, dear. How about you, son? Yeah, tempura works for me as well, Mommy. Thanks. Oh, and by the way, watch out for that tall houseplant in the other room. I've heard it's secretly a scary lava dragon in disguise.
She winks as she leaves. Yeah, even Mom joining in on the fun activities there. I like that little transition scene right there. Man, it's days like these that I really wish my dad was around. Yeah, misspelled it there a little bit. That's okay. I'm sure he's experienced all the nervousness associated with asking a girl out. Relax, Flam. Relax. You're just asking your childhood best friend to be your girlfriend. No big deal, right? Who am I kidding? Of course it's a big deal. What do all those websites online say? Just relax, be yourself, be confident. Wow, some advice that was. I'm nervous as hell. I'm sweating a pool of salty liquid all around my bedroom floor. I'm just banking on Emmy's intuition being correct. Please be correct. Please be correct. Please be correct. Oh! Hi! That was a weird jump.
It's gotten rather cold these days, hasn't it? Ugh, definitely. Winter is such a pain. It definitely makes waking up for tennis practice a little harder. It does have its upsides, however. It really makes for the perfect weather to snuggle up indoors with a soothing hot chocolate and a nice book. And seeing all those all the snow softly fall during the night is really relaxing too. Although it all gets ruined the next day when people walk through it. Having end of semester exams is such a drag too.
I can't help tuning out their conversation. Today has been going by so slowly. All throughout class this morning, I could barely concentrate. I've just been picturing how I imagine the conversation with Sayori will go down. Safe to say, that's definitely been the focus of my mind. Emmy shooting me knowing looks every so often didn't do much to staunch the whirlwind of uncertainty in my head. In the club room, we're just finished sharing poems, and I can't wait for the session to end.
And people get really mushy around Christmas time as well. You know, like cuddling up together, holding hands, all that stuff. Yuck. You say that like it's a bad thing, Natsuki. Come on. It'd be lovely to have someone to warm you up when the nights get cold. Don't you think?
This is a hint. Or just me totally misinterpreting.
No way!
I can see where both of you are coming from, actually. On one hand, that physical intimacy must be quite nice. Although I have to admit, public displays of affection can be a bit overwhelming.
Yeah, especially when couples start playing tonsils tennis with each other.
Okay, now, the reason why that joke, or that line made me laugh, is because back in the 90s, kids were calling it tonsil hockey. But in this game, it's called tonsil tennis. So, next thing you know, it's going to be called tonsil soccer. Monica laughs.
Interesting way of putting it, Natsuki. I'm right, though. Say that stuff for when you're at home. But what about presents? That's something else that makes Christmas so enjoyable. Buying gifts for the people and seeing their reactions. That's definitely a rewarding feeling, especially when they really like your choice. Don't you think, Flam?
Don't mind me, just trying to figure out how to ask you to be my girlfriend. Oh yeah, everything's fine. You know, just trying to figure out the best way to ask you to be my girlfriend. Oh, yeah, just trying to decide what to get you guys for Christmas, that's all. Racking my brains, I desperately try to follow up what I've just said. Let's say I had to get you a present, Monica. What would you ask for? Can't buy you a piano, though. Sorry.
Well, that'd be telling, wouldn't it? It would ruin the mystery. Well, you're always busy with like a billion things going on at once, right? So I don't know, maybe like a diary or a planner or something? Or a tennis racket? I have no idea. Those aren't bad ideas, actually. It's always difficult buying presents for someone. Especially when it's someone you don't know particularly well. You can go with a watch, Monica. A watch? Why? Well, you can do it with the free time.
Okay, no dad jokes. That's... Yes. One day, Sayori's jokes will get a little funnier. Finally. The school day sure did take its sweet time. While it did drag on, I'd be lying if I said I was ready for what's about to come. Hey, Sayori. Are you busy after school today?
Nope. Well, apart from homework, but I didn't get much today.
Okay, well, I nervously scratch the back of my neck. Sayori eyes me curiously. Do you think we can hang out a bit? Today, after school? Please don't pick up on the desperation in my voice.
Sure. My place or yours?
Yours sounds good.
Okay. We haven't spent time together after school in a long time. What made you change your mind? Not that I'm complaining.
Why am I getting a shrewd suspicion that she knows my plan and is just going along with it just to watch me squirm? Nothing.
Oh? You don't have a Christmas tree for us to decorate, do you?
It's barely mid-November, Sayori. A bit too early for that.
Aw. Anyway, what do you want to do, Flam?
I don't think it's healthy for a human heart to beat this fast. Well, I wanted to tell you something, Sayori.
Okay, what's up?
It's now or never. No. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I need to... I need to stop for a second here and just kind of prepare myself for the very awkward moment that I'm pretty sure is coming. That I'm about 100% sure is going to happen to just make this moment crash and burn. We ready? Well, like he says, it's now or never. Well, look. I really don't know the best way of saying this. Sayori, she's just sitting there, patiently waiting for me to speak. There's a hint of anticipation lurking in those blue eyes of hers. Taking a deep breath, I stare at the floor and let my mouth talk before my brain has a chance to catch up. Look, Sayori, I really like you, and I'm really sorry if this changes anything between us, because I really value our friendship and I wouldn't want to ruin anything. So I guess it was ever since we were kids. I've always been drawn to you, and well, seeing you again after these years has been really, really nice. I'm so glad we get along. Like, a huge gap in our history was never there. I really like you, Sayori, in that way. And, well, I was just wondering how you feel. Like, do you feel the same way, or... I trail off into nothingness, cringing at how pathetic my confession must have sounded. So much for be confident. The silence is getting over... Oh my god, no. This is bad. The silence is getting overwhelming. Lifting my eyes off the safe haven that is the floor, I had to force myself to meet her gaze. The expression on her face is hard to read. She's smiling, but at the same time, there's definitely a hint of sadness behind her eyes.
I should have seen this coming. I guess it really is my own fault.
Huh? Fault? What do you mean?
I was selfish.
What? How?
I really like you too, Flam. Like you too, Flam.
I should be feeling relieved, happy even, at hearing those words. Yet I can't help but feel like something is terribly amiss.
I think I always have, even when we first met.
She smiles warmly at me, but there are tears forming in her eyes that trickle down her face as she blinks.
You've always been so nice to me, even when I didn't deserve it. Even after we drifted apart, you were still willing to talk to me and see how I was doing. You took an interest in my club, even though I didn't think you'd enjoy literature. And at first, I was a little unsure. I wasn't sure if things would be like how they were when we were kids. Deep down, I was hoping they would. And over time, I guess I got my wish. Because they did. Your jokes, your personality, just by being around you, every day was a walking reminder of easier times.
I don't get it, Sayori. If you like me too and you're happy with me being around, what's the problem? She shakes her head.
It's not that easy. You just don't understand.
Of course I don't, Sayori. That's why I'm asking. Can you blame me? I can tell there's something going on with you, but every time I try and help, you shut me down. Is it any surprise I don't understand? That day before the festival where you wouldn't even talk to anyone. And that day when you weren't in school, something wasn't right that day. And it was just a gut feeling. I've always been able to tell when something's wrong, Sayori, no matter how well you hide it.
I really wish you couldn't.
That horrible nightmare you had, you know, some of the things you were saying, you think you're useless, that you don't want to do it anymore? What are you talking about? Please, Sayori, just tell me. What's so tiring? What don't you want to do anymore? Why do you think you're useless? Did someone say something nasty to you? I swear to God, if someone's been saying stuff, tell me and I'll go and...
You're right, Flam. There's someone.
I clench my fists so hard that I can feel my nails digging into my palm. Who?
It's me.
I blink, stupefied. Hold on. I blink, stupefied. That was the last response I expected to hear. You? What on earth is that meant to mean? You're saying stuff to yourself? We're just going around in circles here, Sayori. Please, enough with the mysteries and the vague answers. I've been honest with you. What could this horrible, dark secret be that makes you so useless and unlikable?
Depression.
For the second time this evening, I'm at a complete loss for words. Huh?
There. That's my secret, Flam.
You're depressed?
I've had depression for most of my life.
Oh. Oh my God, Sayori. That was probably the most lackluster response I could have given you. I'm sorry.
Don't be. I wouldn't have expected you to know how to respond.
She gives a short, humorless laugh. I don't know what to say. I had no idea. I never would have known. You always seem so...
Happy? Cheerful?
But I don't get it. I thought you were so happy. She sighs as tears slowly leak down her cheeks.
No, Flam. I never was. It was just a mask. I really tried to keep it up.
Her voice wavers as she speaks. Fresh tears fall down her face, but unlike the day of her nightmare, she makes no attempt to hide them. Her secret has been laid bare.
Every day. Waking up. Getting ready. Walking to school. All the things that people take for granted. It's been so scary. So difficult. I was so scared that at any moment I'd let my mask slip and you'd see the real me.
So, that's what you were referring to when you said it was tiring, that you didn't want to do it anymore. She nods sadly. And all the other things too, like waking up.
And eating, too. I don't have the energy to cook actual meals.
So that's why you went for pizzas and other junk food. God, it's all coming together now.
And the whole thing has been so bittersweet. Seeing you again, hanging out, just like we used to. For the first time in what feels like such a long time, I felt something that felt alien to me. Happiness. It wasn't much, but it was something, and it helped me through these days. Like when you warmed my hands up, I felt so bad at asking you to help, but sometimes I just couldn't help it. It's so hard fighting against what your heart wants. And I started to like you. It terrified me.
But why?
Because it was getting harder and harder to resist being selfish.
Selfish?
Selfish. In dragging you into my mess. You shouldn't be bothering with someone like me. Part of me wondered if me being so miserable would put you off.
Another sad smile.
But it didn't seem like you minded. No. You really stuck around and tried your best to comfort me, even though I was horrible to you and kept you at a distance. And now, here we are. A situation that's both what I want and fear the most. I'm worthless, Flam. I couldn't care less about myself. I just want the others to be happy. And now I've messed that up. Because now you know I'm at my depression. And knowing you, you'll definitely worry. I really couldn't win either way. I'm so sorry for dragging you into this, Flam. I tried so hard. But with you here, telling me you like me too.
Her voice is a mess at this point. A whirling mess of tears and anguish.
For once, I just wanted to embrace that selfishness and be your girlfriend.
It's almost like another person who looks just like Sayori has been talking. No, it is like it's a different person. As she spoke, I was sinking further and further into disbelief. How could it be that my happy, carefree childhood friend was harboring such a sad secret? You're definitely not selfish at all, Sayori. How could you be? You're one of the most selfless people that I know. You make it your duty to make everyone else happy. I could never not care about you. You're my best friend. And I'd do anything to make you happy again. I'm just so glad you told me this.
Why?
Just come here.
Please don't hug me.
Ignoring her cries, I embrace her, holding her close to me. To my surprise, though, she pulls free and pushes me away from her. I didn't even know she had this strength.
I'm sorry, Flam. I really can't deal with this right now. Can you please leave?
Leave? Sayori, look at what you've just told me. Do you honestly expect me to just go? Like it didn't mean anything?
Yes.
I stare at her incredulously. Her resolution doesn't change. All sorts of feelings are swirling through my head right now. I'm still trying to process what she's just told me. And even after suffering for years, she's still this stubborn. Anger floods through my veins, probably an unreasonable reaction, but at this point, I'm too emotionally charged to listen to rationality. Oh, so that's how it is, right? I'm allowed to tell you my problems and you're allowed to cheer me up, but I'm not allowed to help you? What kind of friendship is this, Sayori?
You'll never understand.
Of course I won't. Because you never let anyone in. Is it any surprise I don't understand? I instantly regret raising my voice the moment the words leave my mouth.
Just go. Please.
Without any choice left, I dejectedly comply. Back in my own house, my mind is still racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Jeez. Now that the heat of the moment has passed, I ashamedly realize that I probably handled that pretty poorly. Yes, it was frustrating being kept in the dark, then having such a huge bombshell dropped on me. Then again, being unable to help, but getting angry at her was the worst thing to do. Man, I'm such an idiot. Ugh. Damn it, Emmy. So much for female intuition, eh? Well, there's one person who hopefully should be able to help. Grabbing my phone, I hastily punch in a phone number and hope she's free.
Flam? Hi. What's up?
Mom, I told Sayori how I felt, and that...
Did it go well?
Yeah, but not for the reasons you'd think. I don't really know how to put this because I'm still trying to process it myself, so I'll just lay it out. Sayori likes me too, but she couldn't bring herself to act on those feelings because she's depressed. There's a heavy silence for a beat.
Depressed?
I know. Sayori of all people.
Oh, I see. My goodness, that's awful. Poor girl. I hope she'll be alright.
I really hope she will be. Mom, I acted like such an idiot.
What happened?
Well, when she told me she was depressed, I tried to comfort her by hugging her, but she pushed me away and told me to leave. And I'm kicking myself.
Go on.
Her tone is gentle. I got angry at her and raised my voice. I was just so frustrated not being able to help her, and I wasn't thinking straight.
No, darling. You're not an idiot at all. I understand it must have been so frustrating. No, shouting at her wasn't the best idea. But it's not like you set out to hurt her, is it?
Well, no.
It happens during arguments. Don't worry.
There are so many other things, too. She said she feels worthless, and she felt selfish, and even telling me what was going on.
Ah, so that explains why she rejected your hug.
There's a sigh on the other end.
Sweetheart, this must be so difficult for both of you. It must feel so overwhelming. Believe me, I know what your situation is like.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I once dated someone with depression, and it wasn't easy. It's one of the hardest things to watch someone we love suffer like that. And we just don't understand it when they have such negative things about themselves. When they say such negative things about themselves.
It was horrible, Mom. It didn't even feel like Sayori was talking. I just never saw it coming. I mean, I knew that something was going on with her. But I just thought having days where you're in a low mood were normal, you know?
Well, from what I gathered, she's awfully convincing at wearing that facade. If it's any consolation, I don't think anyone could have guessed that she was depressed. Either way, the worst part about depression is probably that it's just so loud and convincing. It's got a horrible tendency to dominate the thoughts of whoever's got it. And it can be really hard for them to take off that depression-tinted glasses. It's an illness, and unfortunately, mental illness can be just as significant as physical ones. Something I wish the country would recognize.
So what can I do for her? What can I do? Can I even do anything?
You definitely can help her out. I didn't mean to make you feel like you were powerless or anything.
It's okay. I'm glad you're being honest, I guess. It's just kind of hard to realize exactly what we're dealing with here. So it'd help to be informed, right?
You become really mature, Flam. I'm proud of how well you're handling this.
I'm not handling this well at all, Mom. I had no idea how to react. I shouted at her and she was in tears.
Would anyone who isn't a mental health professional know how to deal with what you've just been told? Anyway, the most important advice I can give you is not to expect a quick fix. Depression isn't something that can be fixed with love. It isn't your job to fix her. but you can still help her.
I was starting to think I was totally useless here.
Of course not, darling. She loves you as well. Don't forget. It won't all be doom and gloom. You'll have days where things will be normal, days where she really isn't faking her mood. But then you also have days where she won't have the energy to get out of bed. Days where she just won't feel like talking to anyone. It's really important that you're as patient and understanding as you can be during those days.
Hold on a second, guys. My eyes coming. Alright, I'm back, guys.
And it's really important that you're as patient and understanding as you can be during those days. Oh, and communication's a big one. That goes for any relationship, really. It sounds really obvious, but talk to her. Let her tell you about how she sees the world and what her thoughts, feelings, and fears are. There's going to be problems, there's going to be fights. Those are healthy and part of any relationship. If something's bugging you or someone's bothering her, just talk it out. Communication is the key to a successful relationship. Believe me.
She's not wrong. That's what makes me and my wife's relationship so great. We have good communication with each other. I can't help but laugh. You sound like one of those relationship gurus.
It's a mother's job to guide her children, you know. As an aside, never underestimate how helpful it can be just to listen to someone's problems and worries. Just having someone listen can be so helpful, more than you can ever realize.
Funny you mentioned that, because I was going to ask if Sayori should see a therapist or doctor.
Yes, I think that'd probably be for the best. Although things like therapy and medication don't always work for everyone, it's tempting to see it as a magical fix, but just remember, it'll take time. There's so much more I want to discuss, but unfortunately you caught me at a really bad time. It's times like these in particular that I feel awful for not being around.
It'd be really nice to see you, Mom. I'm really hoping I
can come to visit soon. And for what it's worth, you're much stronger than you realize, and I'm very proud of you. Just remember that, okay?
I'll try.
Give it a day or two before you talk to her, by the way. I think she'll need a little bit of time to cool off. I'm sure that if you apologize for getting angry and rationally explain your side of things, she'll come around. She never struck me as a girl who could hold a grudge. Emotions are running high from what I can gather, so she'll understand it. I know it seems really bleak right now, but it'll be okay, Flam. I just know it.
I really hope so, Mom.
Just remember that your support will be just as important as what a doctor or therapist can offer her. You've really got such a big heart. Show her just how big that heart really is. I love you.
Love you too, Mom. And thanks for everything.
Anytime. Ring me whenever you need help, okay?
Rarely I flop down onto the sofa. Feels like such a lot happened in a short space of time. I just hope Sayori and I can patch things up. Man, am I glad that it's Saturday today. There'd be no chance in hell that I'd be able to concentrate if today were a school day. Her revelation keeps replaying over and over in my mind. Depression. A nasty sounding word. And in some ways quite foreign. I guess it was kind of sheltered prior to Sayori. I never knew any people with the condition. It was something I was of course aware of, but I never paid any real thought to it. I mean, I knew what it was. Psychology has always been at least vaguely interesting to me, but I never really saw a real reason to look into it. And Sayori said that she's been depressed for most of her life. So I can't help but wonder, when did it all develop? What caused it? Was she bullied? Hold on a second, guys. I gotta turn something off. Keep getting all these notifications pop up, so I gotta... Okay. Alright. Anyway, was she bullied? Or did a close friend or family member die? There are so many things I want to ask her right now. But as Mom said, it's best to give Sayori some time to cool off. I'll give it a couple of days. Besides, I've got a lot of homework to be getting on with. Well, that Sakurai's out of the way first. Man, the end of the war really had huge effects on the world. It's time for a break, I reckon. What to play. It really is a first world problem to have so many games available, but still not know what to play. Colorful looking tile catches my eye. Not even the escapism from video games is doing the trick. Perhaps I should go for a walk instead. Being cooped up indoors probably isn't doing any favors for my health. Mom used to harp on about the importance of fresh air. I stand up and stretch, rarely rubbing my neck. Yeah, some fresh air wouldn't go amiss. At this point in the day, the park is rather quiet. Not as many people come to this part of the park anyway. Which is a shame, because this part is arguably the prettiest thanks to the lake. Being the middle of November, there's a definite chill in the air, although I'm wrapped up warm so I can barely feel it. There's a comfortable lull in the air, especially after the overwhelming nature of last night. The silence is a perfect antidote, being therapeutic and calm. Sure, I have the house to myself, but there's no substitute for fresh, cool air. Maybe my parents were right when they kept up that healthy body, healthy mind mantra. As calm as the atmosphere is, it's not doing much for the whirlwind that is my mind. Looking back, how could I have been so stupid? How did I miss all the signs? Am I really that dense? Thinking about it, the fairy tale poem makes so much sense now. The selflessness, the devotion to keeping others happy regardless of her own mental state. The signs were all there, struggling to wake up on time, which explains why she was always late. And the nightmare. And when she finally told me her most painful secret, how did I respond? By shouting at her and making her cry. Great friend you are, Flam. No wonder she didn't even want to tell me in the first place. I was so pushy, so demanding, yet when she told me, instead of being empathetic and understanding, I did the exact opposite. It wouldn't even surprise me if she didn't want to be friends anymore. Would she ever forgive me? Although, whether she should or not is a whole other question. Even if she did forgive me, what could I even do about her depression? Her self-perception seems so cemented. Would I be making things worse by getting involved? Or would I be able to help her? I don't know. I don't know. Being a normal teenage guy doesn't really afford me much sensibility. Even though it might sound a bit melodramatic, I can't help but feel like I barely even know Sayori anymore. How much of her happiness is just a mask? It can't be all of it.
Flam?
Being so lost in my thoughts, I didn't even notice Yuri's presence. Ah. Oh, hey, Yuri. Didn't see you there.
I'm not bothering you, am I? You look rather deep in thought.
Oh, you're fine. It would be nice to have some company, actually. She smiles shyly and takes a seat next to me. The accompanying silence is not awkward in the slightest, which surprises me. Then again, Yuri is no stranger to deep thoughts herself, and she's definitely used to being reflective and quiet.
I didn't expect to see you here.
Didn't expect me to come to a quiet park when it's getting dark, especially in the middle of winter, huh?
Not really, no. The dark and the cold combined tend to put most people off. If you don't mind me asking, what brings you here?
Oh, well. There's a lot on my mind, and I figured some fresh air would do me good, you know?
Ah, I see. Perhaps we're more alike than I first imagined. Whenever I'm troubled by something, I always find a quiet period of reflection in the evening can be really helpful. Something about the stillness of the night. It's much easier to think when you're in an environment such as this one.
Yeah, it is, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed. It helps just to take a step back and breathe. I've actually known this park for as long as I can remember. My parents used to take Sayori and I here all the time. Countless memories throughout the years.
That sounds wonderful, Flam. To be able to share such happy times with someone as you both grew up. Although I'm curious, given how much time you two seem to spend with one another, I would have thought Sayori would be with you now.
I looked down momentarily, poking at the twig with my shoe. Well, we kind of had a fight.
Oh? That comes as quite a surprise given how close you two seem to be. Then again, I suppose it's inevitable that fights occur between people, no matter their dynamics.
Yuri starts fiddling with her hair.
Not that I mean to pry, but may I ask why you had a fight in the first place?
I grimace as I reply. As much as I enjoy talking to Yuri and appreciate her company here, there's no way I can reveal Sayori's secret to her. It's not that I don't want to tell you, and it's nothing personal, I
understand completely, Flam. I suppose it was a rather personal question.
She just told me something really private, and the horrible familiar feeling of shame bubbles up whenever I recount how I reacted to her confession. I didn't take it very well, and I said some really stupid stuff. I got angry at her, and I shouted at her. I'm an awful friend. I leaned forward, burying my face in my hands. There was an awkward, heavy silence for a few moments.
Flam, I know that I haven't known you for as long as Sayori has, but please believe me when I say you're not an awful friend. I don't know what was said between you two, but everyone says things they don't mean during arguments, especially when tensions are running high. That's something my parents once told me, and it really is true. If you take my argument with Natsuki back in September, in the heat of the moment, I said some rather hurtful things. However, I didn't actually mean them, and I'm fairly confident that Natsuki feels the same way too. Please don't be too hard on yourself. I can tell that Sayori means a lot to you, and you're ever so patient and kind with her. If I may be so bold to say, perhaps you don't realize it, but you do a lot for her. Little things such as walking to school with her in the mornings and walking her home in the afternoons. But most importantly, Whenever she's feeling sad, you really take it upon yourself to find out what's wrong so you can comfort her. We can all see that you care and we can all see that you care and we can all see that your care and consideration for her shines like a beacon.
Yeah, that's all well and good and all, but I still hurt her really badly.
Friends always hurt each other, Flam. It's just an unfortunate reality of being human. From what I can gather, she isn't someone who could hold a grudge. So whatever issue there is between you guys, I'm confident you'll be able to sort it out. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound presumptuous or anything.
You've not been presumptuous in the slightest, Yuri. Your insight has been really refreshing. I still feel bad, but you've made me realize that perhaps things aren't as bleak as they seem. So thank you. Seriously, it means a lot. You're a really good friend.
Thank you, Flam. I'm glad I was able to help.
I can't help but grin. Yuri's shyness has always been endearing, especially as it clashes against her intelligent, mature outlook oh so much. Anyway, I could ask you the same question. What brings you here?
Well...
It's okay. You don't have to disclose anything. I won't pry. But just know that if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here. And so are the other girls, okay? Remember how horrible those people during the festival recital were to you. And I'd hate to think that you were suffering in silence or anything like that.
Flam, you truly are too kind. I very much appreciate your words. And I'm very glad that Sayori told you about our club.
I know I said it back in September, but honestly, I'll say it again. I'm just grateful that you guys accepted me with open arms. You didn't judge me because I wasn't a poet, nor did you ever laugh at how bad my poems were. I know they weren't particularly to your taste, but you still gave me some good advice and feedback.
Well, I believe that everyone should be included. No one deserves to be an outcast, irrespective of their hobbies, interests, or their writing ability. I just wish others would be as accepting and inclusive of those with interests that go against the norm.
She's nervously picking at her sleeve, almost pulling them up over her hands. Well, for what it's worth, I think your interest in horror and taste in literature and poetry is pretty cool, Yuri. It makes for a nice change of discussion and gives you interesting stuff to talk about. Like when you discussed Frankenstein's monster with me at lunchtime. Never really gave it much thought, but after you had that talk with me, it helped me realize that we shouldn't just take stuff at face value. Oh, and your poems are awesome. I hope that one day I'll be able to write at your level.
That really means a lot. I'm glad you have such an open mind, Flam. In this day and age, to find a mind so free of prejudice and misconception, it's truly a breath of fresh air. Thank you.
Oh, it's locking on me again.
Anyway, I don't mean to cut short our discussion, but unfortunately I have a lot of homework to be getting on with.
Yeah, me too. Procrastination can only get you so far, eh? Catch you later, Yuri. Hope everything gets better.
And you, Flam.
With a wave, we both depart. Alright, guys. I'm going to save it here. That'll do for this episode. My wife strongly objects.
Just when I was getting involved and invested in the story.
Right? But maybe it would help. But maybe it would help my wife, to say that I'm gonna continue on as a recording, so I'll have something to upload for tomorrow.
Yay!
All right. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been. It's getting good. It's getting really good. But I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm so stoked we've hit 100 subscribers. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good night.